Hello to all my friends out there. So if you want to see my frugal salad, go to my Twitter. My phone cut out. Between my tripod and my phone, I got a new tripod. However, this will not do the trick. That will be funny to any of you with a channel. This is the second time that happened. Okay. This video is, why should I worry about an economic collapse? I have plenty of money in my savings. Trust no phone. So, really, if you think about it, why should you worry about an economic collapse if you have plenty of money in the bank? Well, we're going to discuss that. Okay. In the last video, I told you guys about a kid and I who got in trouble in beauty school for hiding during theory. And the teacher said, you two will never amount to anything in the hairdressing trades. Okay, I noticed right away that the lecture was the chapter. It would take you 10 minutes to read the chapter. It would take you 30 plus minutes to listen to the lecture. So basically I knew if we ditch theory, nothing is going to happen. We can just go home and in 10 minutes we can read the chapter. However, that is not following the instructions, and we deserve to be browbeaten, and we were. But in the end, we both turned out to be rather successful hairdressers. Okay, now I was working in nice shops and I was working in not so nice shops. And so one time I worked for this guy who had a nice shop, and he said, why are you working for them? And I said, well, I might learn something. I would move to shop and shop, and that's how you learn. Tell you the truth, I learned more sitting in college classes. I spied out the girls' hair, but that's not the point. Why do you work for them? They don't know anything. And I thought, yeah, that is really true. Looking back, that was really true. Hairdressing-wise, he was so right. But I did learn some stuff, and we'll get to that in a minute. And then I worked in shops, very low-end shops, and it was like back to the discussion about the teacher who said we weren't going to amount to everything because the two of us are, back when hairdressers were dropouts, and so, we don't have enough sense to read the chapter. Okay, so I worked in low-end shops, and there was this assumption. I know everything, and I'm thinking, right. Okay, if a person says, I know everything, there is a chance that is not true, that they don't know everything. Possibly, the less they know, the more they think they know. Another thing is if you move people out of their comfort zone, I don't care if it's in a shop, a beauty shop, a family, it's not going to go well. So, the assumption that you know everything is a bad sign. So those were some of the beauty shop things, and all those years I was learning. And then one of the most memorable beauty shop things was, and recently too, somebody gifted me a really, really nice shop. Unbelievable. I go to myself, this is unbelievable. I worked for shops and people who were like the football team who didn't want to let the quarterback get the ball, who wanted to let me get hammered, and who finally, Anyway, somebody gifted me a really nice shop, and I was really, really grateful, and I said to my son, well, should I say something? And he goes, no, because, then the people who weren't offered the shop might feel bad. So that was definitely a high point. So in each of these three stories, We had the gifted hairdresser who later went on to look like a movie star and had a very good job in the hairdressing industry. We had the hairdresser with the nice shops who said, why are you working in those not so nice shops? And then we had the guy who actually gave me a really nice beauty shop. But my husband is dead, my dad died at 66, and I am 65, and the time is short, and it behooves me to adjust to retirement and do my exercising. So now, back to the economic collapse thing, back to thinking you know everything. That goes for all of us. So I was watching a video, and I was Yassar Farmer, I think, and he had a farmer on there, and he said, well, what should we do? And he says, well, people are going to have to get back to basics. And I posted a really good song, Basics of Life, on my Twitter, and there's some good Christmas songs on there too, and that is so true. So the basics of life would be food, water, clothes. You notice I bought my son tons of clothes. I will be buying tons of clothes, and I will be buying portable closets, and I will be hanging those clothes, such as this lovely blouse. And so you might be thinking, why? Because I can sell this blouse on any given Sunday for about $3, $2 or $3. Clothes, gas, cash, and heat. You have to be able to secure heat. And we'll get into the cash in a minute. Okay, so now about when you buy something, like if I was to buy something, I want to make sure I can sell it. So I can probably sell this bracelet for $1, or, you know, charm bracelets, any kind of silver earrings, cute necklaces. This year I'll be moving into semi-precious jewelry. I've been doing jewelry about 2 years. Okay, now, why should I know everything after all, why should I worry about an economic collapse? Why? I have plenty of money in the bank. Okay, if something suddenly happens and they can't truck the food to us, they can't fly the food for us, they can't send it by rail, even underground, you know, there could be seismic activity, so we have some calamity. And so there's going to be people, especially in California, is going to be stampeding. Another thing is traffic jams, trying to get out of some place to get to a better place. That could be bad too. Like running out of gas, food, water, clothes, gas, cash, and heat. You're going to want to stockpile food. I don't care how much money, silver, and gold you have. You cannot eat it. Okay, economic collapse is any kind of broad range of bad economic conditions. Didn't we just have a real estate collapse a few years ago where they kind of like consumed all the old people's equity? Let's be honest. Who did it hurt the most? It hurt the people's parents whose equity was wiped out. That's who it hurt. It hurt everybody. But it happened. Severe or prolonged depression. Have we had a severe or prolonged depression? Yeah, we had the Great Depression. It was not good. Okay, with high bankruptcy rates, the credit situation is pretty bad. The credit is tightening up. Okay, high unemployment. Right now the employment seems to be pretty good. A breakdown in normal commerce. Okay, let's think about this. Didn't we just discuss this breakdown in normal commerce? Okay, if the price of food goes up, that means people are going to spend most of their spendable income on food just to exist, and it's going to disrupt everything else. It's going to disrupt normal commerce. Markets are not acting normally. Okay, we just had that. It's not like we don't know that. The beef and pork situation, the beef and pork drowned. There isn't enough feed, so they sent the animals to slaughter early which created less yield, but the price didn't go up. Okay, what happens in this grand solar minimum if that happens next year? This is year one, and that happens the next year and the next year, and what's going to happen? Well, a world of hurt. Okay, now there's another thing. These companies controlling the commerce, like Bumblebee and StarKist, we know they got busted for a price fixing. And you will notice you can buy those little packages, 2.5 ounces. Okay, 3 ounces of meat is a rock bottom, but they shave theirs off by a 1/2 ounce. That is a 1/4 cup of tuna, you guys, for $1. And God knows what's going on with the tuna. Price fixing, that's what's going on. Okay, and then the beef markets. Was that normal? Well, so far everything's okay, but that doesn't mean anything. Okay, so now identify the early warning signs of an economic collapse. Let me check this thing. This phone is, they want me to buy a new one. I don't want to. I refuse. Okay, now identify early warning signs. 1, cash is king. All right, what about something severe and the cash has no value? They don't want your cash in Venezuela. You want a bag of rice, you got to give them a bag of beans. Or this is worse. How about Bitcoin? Could that just be ever wiped off? I think that's the most dangerous thing you could ever do in your life. I wouldn't consider that. Silver and gold, if you're not like rich, maybe consider silver. Emergency cash funds, not kept in the bank. I told you the story about I went to the bank. It was a high interest rate time, and I said I want $3,500 in cash, and they gave me a heck of a time getting the money. It was a Friday afternoon. I go, I need it. Okay, so what we gotta do is start being more frugal with your monthly bills. In fact, you know, that's getting back to basics. You're gonna buy food, you're gonna buy clothes. I mean, not misery making. What I'm gonna be doing is I'm gonna be buying tons of clothes. Because if I need money, I'm gonna sell clothes at the swap meet. I'm gonna be stockpiling, you know, low dollar items of jewelry. Because I know people might have a few dollars spendable income, and you've got to have clothes. Generate an additional cash profit form of income. Otherwise, I used to be fired a lot so they could give my job to their friend because they couldn't build a clientele, and I would know it, including themselves. But, you know, it always worked out for me. Because I would just work 3 jobs, and then when they went down south, I had 2 left. Get out of debt. I would consider that one carefully. You pay down all your debt, and you leave yourself no cash. That might not be a good idea. This is a good one people might not think of. Make sure your passport is current. That's a good one. And try to figure out, where do you want to go? Do you want to go to Mexico, or do you want to go to Canada, or do you want to go to Europe? You know. Okay, so now, here is what we would look for. High unemployment, near bank collapse, and economic contraction. That means people are just barely getting enough money to pay for an apartment, to pay for food. You don't have a car, and those are the things we'd be looking for. So don't say to yourself, well, I have cash. Make sure you have food, water, cash, gas, and heat, and clothes. Okay, you guys, please like, comment, and subscribe, and God bless you all.